Sleepy Hollow. Sounds peaceful, right? Just a nice little town where nothing much happens. Wrong. Dead wrong. See, Sleepy Hollow's got a secret, a dark legend that hangs over it like a shroud. It's the story of the Headless Horseman, a terrifying specter that roams the night. Now I've seen my share of creepy crawlies and spooky situations, but this Headless Horseman thing, that's a whole different level of messed up. People say he's the ghost of a Hessian soldier, his head blown clean off in some forgotten battle. They say he rides through the night, searching for his missing head. The story goes that if you cross paths with the horseman, well, let's just say it ain't gonna be pretty. He's got a nasty habit of lobbing his jack-o'-lantern head at folks, which, believe me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of. But here's the thing about Sleepy Hollow. It's not just the legend. There's something about that place. Something in the air, something that just makes your skin crawl. It's like the whole town is holding its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sleepy Hollow's beauty is the kind that sends shivers down your spine. It's like stepping into a painting, but the colors are all wrong. Too vivid, too intense. The trees, they're ancient and gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The shadows they cast are long and deep, swallowing up the light. The old Dutch houses, they're beautiful, sure, but there's something off about them. Their windows are like watchful eyes, and the wind whistles through their eaves, sounding like mournful cries. It's the kind of place where you can almost hear the past whispering to you, and believe me, you don't want to hear what it has to say. Then there's the cemetery. It's perched on a hill overlooking the town, a silent sentinel shrouded in mist. The headstones are weathered and worn, the names on them long faded. It's said that the Headless Horseman rises from that graveyard each night, his ghostly steed pawing at the ground, eager to begin its grim hunt. Even in the daylight, Sleepy Hollow has an unsettling stillness, like it's holding its breath. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. It's a place where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur, where the ordinary and the supernatural collide. The Headless Horseman. Just saying the name sends chills down your spine. He's more than just a scary story in Sleepy Hollow. He's a part of the town's fabric, woven into its very being. They say he's a hulking figure, dressed in a tattered military uniform, his boots and cape caked in mud and who knows what else. But it's the missing head that gets you. They say he rides with a jack-o'-lantern perched on his shoulders, its grinning face illuminated by an eerie, flickering light. Some say he's searching for his lost head, desperate to reunite with it. Others say he's out for revenge, looking to claim the heads of the living. Whatever his motives, the Headless Horseman is a terrifying sight. The sound of his horse's hooves pounding through the night is enough to make your blood run cold. And if you're unlucky enough to catch a glimpse of him in the moonlight, well, let's just say it's not an experience you're likely to forget. The Headless Horseman is a constant threat, a reminder that in Sleepy Hollow, the line between reality and nightmare is thin indeed. He's a symbol of the darkness that lurks at the edges of our vision, the fear that whispers to us in the shadows. Fear is as much a part of Sleepy Hollow as the trees and the river. It hangs in the air, thick and heavy, like the humid summer air. The townsfolk, they know the stories, they've heard the whispers, they know that evil lurks in the shadows, and they live in constant fear of the Headless Horseman's wrath. At night, the windows are dark, the streets deserted. Nobody dares to venture out after sundown, not unless they have a death wish. They huddle around their hearths, telling tales in hushed voices, each creak of the floorboards, each gust of wind sending shivers down their spines. The legend of the Headless Horseman has seeped into their bones, shaping their beliefs, their very way of life. They avoid the roads he's said to haunt, they whisper prayers for protection, they cling to superstitions like lifelines. But fear is a powerful motivator. It can make you see things that aren't there, hear things that don't exist. In Sleepy Hollow, the line between reality and imagination is blurred, and every shadow could be the horseman, every whisper of the wind his ghostly steed approaching.